is said to be one of the safest and the most peaceful countries in the world. And KOBAN, police box, and Chuzaisho, residential police box, are the basic units where the police carry out various activities to maintain public safety. People from overseas may consider KOBAN to be a security post or a place where police officers are on alert. And in some countries where there is no clear distinction between police and military, people tend to think young people should keep away from those places because the police watch and keep people under strict control. In Japan, however, KOBAN or Chuzaisho forms part of the local community, functioning as a community safety center where urgent complaints are made or strangers can ask the way. Of course, its main objectives are clearing the criminal cases and prevention of crimes. Thus, the KOBAN or Chuzaisho is a great support for the safety of local residents in Japan. KOBAN and the Chuzaisho belong to the Community Police Affairs section. So they are subordinate offices of a police station which is in charge of the community. There are 6,500 KOBAN throughout Japan, located mainly in urban areas. And there are 8,500 Chuzaisho, most of them in towns and villages. Thus, 15,000 such police substations cover the whole country. Every KOBAN has an office room, an examination room, a standby room, a lavatory, and a small kitchen. And recently, some KOBAN have been complete with shower rooms or even community rooms for residents' meetings. Officers assigned to a KOBAN work in shifts. Each team consists of 3 or more officers, including an assistant police inspector or a sergeant as its chief, works for 24 consecutive hours on every 3rd or 4th day. Each KOBAN has its own district and takes responsibility for its safety. Currently, some KOBAN place former members of the police as counselors when the police officers in charge are away on duty. The Chuzaisho or residential police box has similar functions to those of the KOBAN. But community police officers live in Chuzaisho with their family members, so they can deal with cases, accidents, emergent complaints, or requests from residents even after office hours. When the police officer is away from the Chuzaisho, his wife accepts reports from residents, shows the way, reports accidents or incidents to, and communicates with the police station. Although she does not belong to the police personnel, our spouse allowance is paid for her contribution. Approximately 80,000 police officers working at KOBAN or Chuzaisho account for about 40% of all the police force. Community police officers are also working in approximately 5,000 police cars. In order for the police to smoothly perform their duties and maintain public safety, it is important that the police and its force are trusted by society. Surveys conducted by Kyoto University and the Japan Broadcasting Corporation, respectively, show that the largest or the second largest number of respondents named police to the question, who protects your human rights? One of the reasons is that the Japanese police are doing their duties in a fair and effective way, supported by high salaries as well as full education and training and discipline. Police officers are paid more than the ordinary government officials and also receive a variety of special allowances. A recruit goes to a police school first and gets education and training for freshmen. In that training course, the recruits acquire necessary legal knowledge or skills and physical training, learn basic behavior and mental attitudes as a police officer through group life in a dormitory. After that training, the new police officer is attached to an ordinary police station, getting on-the-job training under an advisory officer, and takes another training course in the police school. As long as 21 months of education and training is required of a police officer until the person can handle business matters alone. This system of KOBAN and Chuzaisho is unique to Japan and dates back to the Meiji era more than 110 years ago. The Japanese police officers are engaged in various activities according to the provisions of several laws. Under these authorities, KOBAN and Chuzaisho protect peace and order in society as a front line of the police activities in each district. Their main activities are as follows: arrest of criminals, traffic control, handling traffic accidents, patrol, police questioning, visits on households and workplaces, counseling for conflicts, showing the way, management of lost articles, custody of lost children or runaways. Thus, KOBAN or Chuzaisho not only functions as a base for law enforcement or an administrative organization, but also takes up various activities in order to maintain public safety, working closely with local residents. Now let us look at some of them. There are four major groups, namely activities in the office, learning the needs of residents, dispatching messages, and solving problems. Activities in the office include response to citizens visiting KOBAN, as well as the normal duties of a police officer. For instance, the police officer shows the way to the strangers by word or a note. At the same time, the officer receives incident reports, keeps or restores lost articles, or accepts report of lost property swiftly and appropriately. In addition, the officer tries to solve problems by talking with citizens. At KOBAN or Chuzaisho, opportunities are always given to hear from local residents about their opinions and requests, and the local police try to meet them. And the main activity of those is the household visit. The household visit, carried out with the approval of residents, is an activity without legal force. Along with patrolling, it constitutes basic activities of community police officers. They visit homes or workplaces, give guidance or information about safety of residents, such as crime prevention or disaster prevention. On a patrol, the police officer hears residents' opinions or requests to enhance communication with them, at the same time trying to grasp the current situation of the district in charge. When police officers visit homes, they ask the residents to fill in a form for such information as family members and their contact addresses in case of emergency. This system significantly helped rescue missing persons or identify their whereabouts at the time of the Hanshin earthquake in January 1995. In trying to secure community safety, local residents are to play the leading role and the police support it. In this regard, each KOBAN or Chuzaisho promotes the establishment of a liaison council of KOBAN or Chuzaisho for the purpose of eliminating crimes, accidents or disasters in cooperation with the whole community. This council consists of a variety of groups of local residents. It tries to solve problems from the viewpoint of each group by hearing the residents' opinions or requests to the police or about each local community and discussing those issues with them. The liaison council meeting is often held in the community room at the KOBAN or Chuzaisho. Currently, there are approximately 8,600 liaison councils, or more than half the number of KOBAN and Chuzaisho in the nation. We are currently strengthening direct communication systems between KOBAN or Chuzaisho and local residents in order to send accurate and appropriate information. At the same time, we are stepping up efficiency in communication with crime prevention organizations in community, at workplace, private companies or schools. One of the means is the formation of a fax network. When an indecent crime occurred in a district, the police officer at KOBAN warned the local schools through this fax network. Each school received this message and immediately called the PTA's attention. And local residents, including parents, got on their guard and prevented recurrences, helping in the eventual arrest of the criminal. As a part of information sending activities, the police are advising residents to be careful about sneak thieving or questionable door-to-door sales once they happen. They post the KOBAN news circular immediately on bulletin boards in street corners, public bars, banks, bus stops and railway stations. Also, each KOBAN or Chuzaisho is issuing KOBAN Shimbun, KOBAN newspaper, a paper with small circulation based on its own idea. Some offices are publishing news handouts in foreign languages or Braille. In addition, the police are sending relevant information about safety for each area through cable broadcasting channels. Problem-solving activity is a center of community safety activity. It is carried out in cooperation with local residents. When a community police officer of a KOBAN or Chuzaisho is patrolling, communication is always maintained with the police station or patrol cars through a portable radio. Police officers on patrol question people with suspicious behavior, and arrests by community police officers amount to 70% of all penal offenders who are arrested. Police officers also make rounds of irrigation ponds or traffic points where many accidents involving young children take place. They take protective custody of drunken people or lost children, if any, who require immediate attention. They guide and control violators of traffic laws. They also guide juveniles on the street and they leave patrol cards as a warning in households where the doors are not well locked. The community police officers on patrol are daily engaged in various activities to prevent crimes, accidents or disasters. Besides these, a variety of activities are being promoted by community police officers. They take part in activities for increasing safety and peace in local communities. For instance, regular calls on senior citizens who live alone and taking care of them, giving counseling service by sending police officers who can communicate in sign language, or offering the same service in foreign languages, and holding liaison council meetings for students from other countries. Dialing 110 for police help is what the citizens in Japan can rely on in case of emergency situations, including incidents or accidents. Emergency Call 110 is a service in which the police immediately respond to urgent and serious matters. And it is playing more and more important roles at a time when crimes involve ever-widening areas and occur in shorter periods of time. On receiving a 110 call, the Communications Command Center orders police officers in police cars, KOBAN or Chuzaisho, to go to the site. In this case, the KOBAN or Chuzaisho functions as a frontline post so that police officers can arrive at the site immediately and collect the latest information. In the 1994 calendar year, about 5 million emergency calls were received by the police in Japan. However, most of them concerned traffic accidents or traffic violations. According to a poll in 1994, respondents referred to peace and order as what Japan can be most proud of. And that is significantly supported by community police activities centered on KOBAN and Chuzaisho. This system of KOBAN and Chuzaisho has drawn attention from overseas, so that many countries have been sending fact-finding missions to Japan in order to introduce it for better maintaining order in their countries. For example, in Singapore, the first KOBAN called NPP, Neighborhood Police Post, was opened in 1983 with technical advice from Japan, and 91 of them have been installed by 1994. In Puerto Rico and the United States, they call it KOBAN. And now countries including the Netherlands, Brazil and Mongolia are going to introduce the similar systems into their countries. The system of KOBAN and Chuzaisho born in Japan is now going to spread all over the world.